Pitchford and Paul Drinkhall. Liam's mascot is Ava Bates, and Paul's mascot is Phoebe Cooper. And our second set of players, Sam Walker and David McBeath. Sam's mascot is Isabel Ratcliffe, and David's mascot is Jemima Chowdhury.
Well, here we go, the final of the men's doubles. David McBeath there in the green and Sam Walker in blue. And they're playing against Liam Pitchford and Paul Drinkhall. What a mighty pair that they've been over the last few years. They've won 5 of the last 6 of these championships, and the only time that didn't happen was last year when, ahead of the Commonwealth Games, they tried new pairings, and Drinkhall teamed up with McBeath. But now Sam Walker and David McBeath against the mighty Liam Pitchford and Paul Drinkhall. I've got Matt Stanforth with me, Table Tennis England performance department and human being in his own right as well.
Absolutely.
Matt,
yeah,
what do you fancy for this?
Well, the money's got to be on Liam and Paul for me. You know, they're a real strong doubles pair and a world-class doubles pairing. As you've already said, the record speaks for itself there, doesn't it, Colin? You know, they've winning 5 out of the last six titles, and only because they tried some different pairings last year did they not have a title. So, yeah. For me, the bookie's favourite's got to be on those two, but you've got Sam Walker in the other pairing who is worked with them for a number of years as well.
Okay, so you can see all the bats on the tables there. In between the games, the players aren't allowed to take their bats back into the corner, Matt, are they?
No, they're not. No, it's to make sure that there's no tampering or anything, or any change of racket where they may have an illegal sort of rubber, or they've used an illegal adhesive, because that can have an effect on the performance of the rubber, which can give them an advantage. So often in these sort of events and international events, players have to submit the bats 30 minutes before, so that can be tested, make sure it hasn't been glued with any solvent-based glues, because that can enhance the performance of the sponge. Yeah. And yeah, make sure that the racket is fair. Yeah. So yeah, the players have to leave that with the umpires. But often the players will have a number of rackets to practice with as well.
Yeah, and you'll see right in the centre of the screen there, lower part, a little bit of strapping from on Liam's right knee. Had a word with him about it. He has been struggling for about a month. He's had to play through it in terms of playing for his French team, because they had another player more badly injured. It's causing him a little bit of difficulty, but he doesn't think it's a long-term problem. And certainly, he's played his way very nicely through these championships, and he's quite happy that it's a little bit of a niggle, but it's not really getting in his way much. So, Liam, you know, all the best to you. Let's hope that you're back to full fitness. He's pretty much playing like he's at full fitness anyway, Matt.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, he's looking in really good form. Yeah, I mean, these guys push their bodies to the limits, both on and off the table, and picking up niggles and tweaks and things is kind of part of the journey as an elite athlete. So these guys are used to it, but I'm sure that won't hold Liam back in this doubles final, which I think will be a really good battle. But like I said before, my money's on Paul and Liam. Yeah,
it could be. Although McBeath and Walker haven't dropped a game yet. They won against Nafat, Bunya Prepper and James Smith in the quarterfinal, and then in the quarterfinals, 11-5, 11-5, 11-5. They beat Hergy and Luke Saville in the semi-final. So Walker and McBeath are a very stable, high-quality partnership. They're playing in the green and black.
1-all.
Pitchford and Drinkhall dancing in the red.
I think one thing Sam and David need to think about is that possibly Paul and Liam haven't had a chance to play doubles together for a short period, for a while. So, you know, it might be a little bit rusty, but...
Time to catch them cold?
Absolutely, yeah.
1-3.
And Matt, what do you teach the youngsters up and coming in terms of doubles being the same or different to singles?
I mean, movement plays a big part, and actually your thought process is different because you're not playing for yourself, you're playing for your partner, and that takes a little bit of time to get used to.
Yeah.
So sometimes the types of serve that you use and receives you use in the singles, you may adapt that when it comes to your doubles because it's your partner who's got to be able to follow that shot up.
4-2.
You'll see when they play, sometimes they'll give each other little hand signals on the table, try and make their partner aware of what spin they're going to be using when it comes to the serve. And I think in the last few years you start seeing that in terms of the receive as well. They're trying to give their partner a guide of what might be coming back to them.
Okay. So we're seeing a range of hand signals under the tables now. Sometimes it's the server letting their partner know what spin they're going to use.
3-5.
Beautiful shot there, Liam down the line.
And made that look effortless as well,
Didn't
he, Colin?
Yeah, the timing was perfect. He's looking sharp and keen there.
If only it was always that easy. But this is a world-class table tennis and world-class players.
3-6.
Yeah. So sometimes the server gives a signal. Sometimes the server's partner will give a signal and say, please do this.
Yes, yeah.
And then you're saying sometimes the receiver will give a signal.
Yeah, it really depends on how you work as a doubles pair. And obviously, to do that in terms of receive, you've got to have a good understanding of your opponent as well. So you don't always see that, but you do tend to see that on the service.
Yeah.
6-5.
Yeah, remember an old partner of mine was very, she'll remain nameless, very talented player. Very talented player, but a little bit unpredictable. And in singles, they were fantastic for it.
5.
Yeah.
Playing with them in doubles, every now and again, I'd say, don't give me too many surprises, because I wouldn't know what was likely to come back. So doubles, very, very much a team game, a thinking game, more cognitive. And Drinkhall and Pitchford there, looking clones of each other in the way they're mentally preparing, and physically preparing for that rally. So maybe they're tuning in.
Yeah, they've started off pretty well, but you know, there some good attacking play from Sam and David as well. So you know, they're taking the battle to their opponents, who they probably know are the favourites.
7 all.
They're not going to take it lying down there. They're here to win a title if they can. And there, just a slight change of pace for the attack from Sam, and meant that Paul mistimed the top spin, hit the top of the net.
Yeah. So all four players here will be desperate for a national title. Paul and Liam have won before, but as you get more experience, you get a little bit older, you value every single one you can get. You don't want to give anything away. You don't want to give other people those medals that you could win and can go down in history for.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes people say, how do you stay motivated and everything? These guys are really motivated to win as many titles as they can. Every year they look forward to the nationals. And, yeah, they're trying to build their own legacies and everything with that. So, you know, they're never sort of satisfied with winning one. The next year they want to come and do it again. And you can just see the way they're going about what they're doing.
8-9.
Brilliant. So backhand set up, it came back, and another backhand even earlier to finish it off. That was beautiful. Let's have another look at that one. So big backhand from Paul. Liam's across, backhand down the line. Stunning.
Really interesting. He's actually moving. He was playing the backhand.
It's a running backhand, wasn't it?
Have that control with the ball
10,
and be able to use that spinning speed whilst in motion is so difficult.
So you're watching world-class men's doubles here. Genuinely. Sam Walker and David McBeath be desperate to pull these 2 points back. Take the first game, put the pressure on. Best of 5 this. Singles best of 7, doubles a best of 5. Unlucky,
11,
David.
8,
Top of the net, 11-8.
Pitchford, Drinkhall.
So a tight match. Matt, not an easy one by any stretch of the imagination for the #1 seeds.
Yeah, and it's a funny one because as I watched the play, if I didn't know the score, actually watching what Paul and Liam were doing, I think they looked quite dominant. But there was a few unforced errors in there, and there was some good play from Sam and David.
Yeah.
Interesting play around the net there in the last point. You know, Liam and Paul trying to keep things short, and Sam and David trying to copy that as well, because they know whoever gets that first attack in is going to be on the front foot.
Yeah. So Walker and McBeath. So we saw that they beat Nafat and James Smith in the quarters, and Ali Mherji and Luke Saville in the semis. Both of those being straight games. 6-6 and 8, 5-5 and 5. So nobody's taken a game off them yet. but they are 1-0 down now. Actually, Liam and Paul have had a more difficult time getting to the final. They played a fantastic game against brothers Jack and Josh Bennett, the brothers from Eastbourne. Won the first game. It's 10-12, 12-10 the first two before 11-4, 11-4, the dominance of Pitchford and Drinkhall. Finished off the Bennett brothers, but credit to the lads from Sussex to create that kind of level of problem.
One love.
Nice set piece there. Liam setting up his partner, like you were saying, Matt. He didn't set it up for himself. He set it up for knowing the position and the style of Paul Drinkhall, who could then follow up beautifully.
Yeah, and
Paul's following up again with strong forehands.
And the movement of the two guys as well, you know, they're getting around each other really well, so they can follow up strong from their partner's previous shot. So, you know, that's allowing them to keep the pressure on. And you can just sometimes see Sam and David are getting caught over one side or the other. That's given a bit of an opening for Liam and Paul. And because they're moving so well and looking to get him first, it's giving them the upper hand.
They do have the upper hand, and that wasn't a bad flick wide of Liam's backhand. Again, not so much running, but really having to lean as he played it. Absolutely stunning control on that backhand topspin from Liam.
Yeah, he was clipped the top of his racket a little bit, but he was going for the backhand down the line. Liam's backhand is devastating on the world stage. So hard to see where he's going to place it. It's such a fine change, and he causes many of his opponents, including the likes of Harry Moto, big problems with that backhand.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about who Liam's beaten in the last year. In 2018, not only did he beat Marlon and Matthias Falk, you mentioned, Matt, and also Tomokazu Harimoto, Japanese sensation. He also beat Dmitry Ovcharov.
2-5.
He's not a bad player.
And Vladimir Samsonov, we were talking about earlier. He beat him as well as Hugo Calderano, we mentioned. So he also beat world number 10 Mitsutani from Japan, didn't he? So outstanding year, 2018 for Liam Pitchford.
That's a great counter-attacking top-spinning rally there. It's from both sides. It was really aggressive. But Liam and Paul just coming out the stronger at the end of it.
Yep. Sam tried to squeeze one down the line, but it was a big ask. And now 7-2 to what has become the dominant Pitchford and Drinkhall. What a great forehand counter topspin from Paul. He really is a powerful player.
He is, yeah, and you know, that set things up. And if you watch Liam's forehand here, he's actually well outside of the sort of the side of the table. He's actually playing around the side of the net slightly. It was a great play by both of them. Yeah.
Fantastic athlete, all-round athlete.
3-8.
You see there Paul zooming back into the middle of the court. Gets out of the way for Liam. And then gets himself back into the centre again. And they want every single point here, Matt, don't they? Yeah, they look really hungry at the moment. Both of them, you know, you can see them bouncing on their toes in between points, the way they're moving, you know, it's real high energy stuff. And
9-3.
And they look like they want every point that's on offer there. And Sam just trying to change things up and snatch for his previous flick.
10-3.
But the guys in red are really flying.
Aren't they? 7 game points to the Red Arrows. Oh, that's a beauty from David McBeath. Right on the white line. Absolutely no chance wide of the backhand. Well played, David.
Just open the wrist up a bit to fade down the line. Nice forehand from David.
5-10.
Yep. Banana flick from Liam onto the top of the net. Trying to lift the backspin at the same time. See that one again there? See the closed angle, and then he opens it up, flicks it, tries to get side spin on it. Didn't work on that occasion. Again, a nice forehand counter topspin from David McBeath. Got such lovely timing on that counter. When the energy is coming at him, he can really add to it. Yeah, Paul there was sat a little bit deeper. The guys just need, you know, they're not over the line yet. Need to keep the focus all the way to the end, because if you give Sam and David a chance,
11-6.
Managed to do it, but if you give them a chance, it's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, so kind of a mini comeback at the end. We saw some good stuff, didn't we, from McBeath and Walker? So, by no means is this easy for Paul and Liam, but they are 2-0 up, first to 3. Bats left on the table. a couple of the highlights from that game for Paul's power, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's coming into these championships in real good physical condition. You can see that he wasn't happy with his nationals last year. He's lost in the quarters of the singles, and
yeah,
you know, so he's really wanting to come here and make a statement. You can see he's in real good condition. Pitch, as we know, is on top of his game. Really, you know, flying in world table tennis.
Yeah, I forgot he went out in the quarters. I said Paul was champion. Of course, that's I slipped a year, and he went out early. But previous 2 years, I think Sam put Liam out in the semis.
Yes.
And Paul took it. So both multi-singles champions. But Sam, we know, in this competition in singles in the past, has beaten Liam a couple of times. So there's still everything to play for, and they're not outclassed by any stretch of the imagination. Very dominant at the early part of that last game, the second. 8-3, I think they were up. And looking hungry, as Matt said. But now, Liam returning serve. McBeath puts the ball into play. Lovell, third game. But Walker and McBeath now have to win the next 3 games on the run to stay in this championship.
And Sam didn't do much wrong there. It was a good backhand down the line, but then Paul read it well, hooked the ball wide, you know. But Paul's seen the ball big. And we say that when they're really in the zone, and you feel like you've got so much time to make choices. And yeah, these guys are really on it. Devastating
again
backhand from Liam.
Not a bad spin up from David. McBeath spins up and then thank you very much. So quick off the bounce.
Yeah, it's been good. Sam and David are trying to come out and come out hard and fight, get that first attack in, but Liam and Paul are just having an answer for everything that's thrown to them, and yeah, timeout called. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a late timeout. We always talk about when to take them. They're in a position where they're struggling now. Sometimes I think it's better to take the timeout a bit sooner.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of theories and ideas around when's best to take a timeout. I think the important thing is for the coaches to know the players and how they deal with different situations. I can understand the logic here. You know, it's the 2-0 down, 3-0 down. So now, you know, now don't want the other 2 guys to race away with things. So call it earlier, so we can get back in the game and on the front foot, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
I think it's interesting these days. A lot of the coaches are more often these days calling a timeout early in a game. I think, you know, they sent them out there, they play a first couple of points, it's not going according to plan, we'll stop and regroup early rather than wait till later in the game and kind of call it a crunch point later. Yeah,
yeah. It's again, I think it comes back to the coach knowing the player and how they deal with different situations. But you're right, you know, up to 11, it can race away with you so quickly. So taking that time out early and getting back into it, the tables can turn so quickly.
Yeah, well, they're back within 1 point. That one there from David, top of the net, and then the edge at the end of the table.
4-2.
Again, as you said, Matt, just pulls the wrist back, holds it back to play the ball down the line. So watch the way that Liam holds the wrist back and up at the end to get the top spin, plays the ball down the line unexpectedly. Liam, I think of just about any of the players in the world, is so good at changing his mind late.
Yes, yeah, especially on that backhand. I mean, if you've watched any of the matches against Harimoto and they're going to these backhand exchanges, and it's incredible to watch, but then it's just a very slight change in bat angle and it's a complete change in direction.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been on the receiving end of it when he was a young player, and it's so hard to see. You can't explain how he does it. He just does it. It's pretty amazing.
That's why you're up here and he's down there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fabulous. All to play for in this third, but Walker and McBeath absolutely need it. They're getting caught wide of the backhand again.
Yeah, and they're struggling to see when the fades come in, and again, Liam and Paul seem to be feeling like they look like they've got so much time, and they're just making that last-second decision of where to go.
Again, yeah, they look like they've got time. McBeath and Walker at the moment don't look like they've got time.
Absolutely.
So this is dominance here from the red arrows.
But they seem to be pinning a lot of things around that backhand corner,
aren't they?
7-4.
So absolutely brilliant in the middle of this game. I don't think Walker and McBeath have done anything wrong, but a raise of the game from Drinkhall and Pitchford.
4-8.
I think Paul and Liam are just showing why they're 5 times champions, really. It's they're taking things to another level. They know each other very well. They are a world-class player. They're the 2 best players in England, so you know they're just really showing the class now.
4-8.
Yeah, love the way they raised that this game. Really terrific. Again, not a bad spin up from David, but it's risky.
And the ball was just coming off the edge of the table, so David had to take it a little bit later, sit the ball up.
Yeah. Table Tennis England Chief Executive Sarah Sutcliffe enjoying the proceedings there in the crowd.
There's a chance there for David. Sam played a brilliant forehand around the net. Ball set up. David just caught it wrong, put the ball off the end.
Yeah, which now creates match point opportunity. Again, Liam tries to go down the line, that time a couple of centimetres out. 5 match points for Pitchford and Drinkhall. 5 match points. You've got to say they deserve it from what we've seen so far. And there it is. Game, set and match. They love it and each other. And then Walker and McBeath, you've done well, but not good enough to play the red-hot Paul Drinkhall and Liam Pitchford.
Yeah, I don't think Sam and David did anything wrong. They were just up against a pair who was on a whole different level. There's nothing you can do there. They tried the hardest. They were trying to play positive table tennis, but as we saw, Paul and Liam, they're seeing the ball big. They looked like they had so much time to make different choices in the last split second and had an answer for everything. So I don't think there's much more Sam and David could have done. I think just Paul and Liam were too good on the day.
They were just too good. McBeath and Walker, they were good. They were very good.
They were, yeah.
But these two, just another level. Really brilliant display. That's how to play men's doubles.
Yeah, you know, no matter what they threw at them, top spin, counter top spin, you know, Paul and Liam, I think, moved a little bit better around each other. Yeah. So they could follow things up a lot better. Yeah. So even though they haven't played together for a little while, the old teamwork came back very well, didn't it? It did, yeah. And you know, when you've got someone who's in a good shape like Paul, he's going to move very quickly. Someone like Liam, who up at the table can change direction very quickly as well. Yeah. They are a very dangerous pair, as we've just seen, and yeah, putting a very dominant performance to take the title, deservedly so. Yeah. But I think in the end, you can just see from these highlight clips that Liam and Paul just moving around each other a little bit more efficiently, and that's very, very important in doubles. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always a sign of a very good doubles pair when it kind of looks like they're on ice skates. They just seem to glide around each other, and it looks effortless. Paul there just... Okie doke. So, thanks, Matt, and we'll go down to interview. Harry's speaking with Sam and David.
Sam, David, commiserations. That was a tough match.
Yeah, no, I don't think we sort of got hold of the game at all. We found it quite difficult, and obviously they put us under a lot of pressure. And I don't think we managed to get our rhythm going at all.
Yeah, I think the first set was really important. I think we got back to 8-8, and then we just made a couple of, I think, tactical mistakes. And I think if we could have maybe taken the first set, it'd have been different. But yeah, once they got the first set, they say they're a really good pair, and when they had that lead, they just relaxed, and yeah, they played really well.
Is it all about getting that first set and then taking the momentum forward then?
I don't think it's all about getting the first set, but yeah, that first set in this match was really important because yeah, we knew once they relaxed, they're a really good doubles pair, and we needed to try and keep it quite tight and keep them under pressure. But yeah, I think we needed that first set, and obviously when we didn't get it, you know, you saw how little mistakes they made and how much quality they were playing in each ball. So yeah.
Well, hard luck, guys. Well done for getting to the finals anyway, but congratulations for getting this far. Thanks. Liam, Paul, looked like you had that in the bag from the start.
Yeah, you know, we knew we had to be ready. We know that they're a good pair, and we knew we had to be on our game from the first ball, and I think we did that, and I thought we dominated and played really well. So really happy to get my doubles title back.
You obviously played together before and done very well together. It's a pairing you could be very happy with.
Yeah, definitely. I think our games fit really well together, and when we're on form like that and we're being aggressive together, then I think we can beat most pairings in the world, if not all of them. So yeah, I think they played a good match today, but we were a little bit too quick and on our game.
And I said this to Tintin and Maria, but it's from friends to enemies now, is it, for the next match?
Yeah, we've been in this situation before, so we know what to expect. But like Paul said earlier, we're friends off the court, but when we get on the court, both of us want to win. Then we'll see who wins later.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've been friends for a long time, played doubles for a long time, and played against each other many times before as well. So been here before. It's just another day, and it is what we do, and we both came here to win. So that's what we're going to try and do later on today.
Brilliant. Well, huge congratulations, guys, again. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.
Well, fantastic men's doubles, 3-0 to Liam Pitchford and Paul Drinkhall, the favourites, previous winners 5 times. Didn't play together last year because they split up the pairings ahead of the Commonwealth Games when Drinkhall played with McBeath. But back to their old ways, and Liam Pitchford and Drinkhall dominant, and an absolutely wonderful third game to assert their dominance against Sam Walker and David McBeath. A really excellent match. 3-0. Sam and David didn't do anything wrong other than they came up against an absolutely world-class pairing. So terrific game from all of them. And the next match that we're getting ready for now won't be long. After presentations will be the women's singles final, and that's between Tintin Ho and Maria Sapsinos. You've seen them earlier this morning winning their semi-finals. You also saw them win the women's doubles final. So the dominant female players coming through, and they'll be playing in the women's singles final, and that'll be after the presentations for the men's doubles that we've just seen play. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Presenting the medals for the men's doubles ceremony, Alan Ransom, OBE, Chairman of the Commonwealth Table Tennis Federation. Please welcome your runners-up, Sam Walker and David McBeath. Now let's make some noise for this year's champions, Liam Pitchford and Paul Drinkhall. presenting the trophy to Liam and Paul is Mike Perry, CEO of PG Mutual.
So the presentation's going on for the men's doubles. The victors holding the cup, Liam Pitchford and Paul Drinkhall, deserved winners. All smiles with the vanquished Sam Walker and David McBeath. Great game, but 3-0 in the end to the old and dominant partnership of Pitchford and Drinkhall. And we're just waiting now for the final of the women's singles, and the final match of the day will be straight after that, which is the final of the men's singles.